What if I told you that silence isn't just a reaction? It's a weapon. A form of psychological warfare so cold, so calculated, that it turns the tables on the very person who once discarded you. You've been taught that to win her back, you have to chase, convince, and show her how much she meant to you. Nope. That's a trap. A man who begs for love is a man who's already lost his power. But what if your stillness became a storm? What if every second of your silence made her feel the weight of your absence? Like a ghost, she can't forget. You're not here to win her back. You're here to become so untouchably powerful, so stoically detached, that she regrets ever leaving. This isn't about revenge, it's about respect, starting with the respect you give yourself. Because when a man becomes immune to emotional manipulation, when he walks away without flinching, when he disappears without bitterness, that is when the regret begins. This is the cold strategy that will make her miss you like hell. And once you learn it, you'll never chase again. If you're done living in confusion, if you're ready to become untouchable, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I release what I cannot control. Let's begin. Number 1, the day she walked away was the day you were reborn. The moment she left, it felt like death. The silence, the distance, the way she moved on like you never existed, it cuts deeper than any blade. But here's the twist most men miss. That wasn't the end. That was the initiation. The fire you were thrown into wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge you. And in that moment of abandonment, something sacred was born. The version of you that no longer begs, pleads, or explains himself. That man, the one who rises in silence, isn't broken. He's reborn. Stoicism doesn't promise that pain won't come. It promises that pain will refine you. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Her walking away wasn't the obstacle, it was the path. Every tear you shed, every restless night, every obsessive thought, that's the old self dying. And the more it hurts, the deeper the transformation. You're not trying to get her back. You're trying to get you back. The man who forgot who he was because he gave too much of himself to someone who didn't see his value. When she left, she created the space you needed to remember your worth. Don't fill that space with desperation. Fill it with discipline, with silence, with power. This isn't heartbreak. This is rebirth. Let her exit mark the entrance of your highest self. Number 2, emotions are invitations to lose control. She wants a reaction. That's the trap. The breakup isn't always the end. It's often just the beginning of a subtle psychological game, a test. The social media posts, the indirect messages, the silence after your messages. They're not accidents. They're calculated moves to see if you're still emotionally available, to see if she can still pull the strings. And this is where most men fail. They take the bait. They explode with anger, spiral into sadness, send long emotional paragraphs trying to make her understand. Nope, that's exactly what she expects. And worse, it confirms she still holds the power. But what if you didn't react at all? What if her attempts to provoke you met a wall of pure, unmoving stoicism? That's what stoicism is. It's not numbness. It's mastery. It's not pretending you don't feel. It's knowing when your feelings are trying to enslave you every time you're tempted to reach out, to lash out, to seek closure. Ask yourself, is this coming from strength or from weakness? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. She is an outside event. Her choices, her actions, her confusion. That's her battlefield, not yours. You don't need to win her back. You need to win yourself back from the chaos of emotional dependence. Observe your feelings, but do not obey them. Feel the pain, but do not flinch. That's how you break the cycle. That's how you become untouchable. Number 3, the power of vanishing without bitterness. Disappearing doesn't mean running away. It means withdrawing your energy with surgical precision. No dramatic goodbye, no parting words, no desperate message explaining how much you loved her. Nope. You leave without a trace. Not because you're weak, but because you finally understand your worth doesn't need defending. There's a difference between cutting someone off and disappearing with grace. Bitterness is noise. Rage is noise. But true silence, true icy detachment, that's deafening. When you walk away without resentment, without even a whisper of pain, it forces her to wonder, how is he this calm? Did I even matter? And that question, that uncertainty, becomes your greatest weapon. Stoicism teaches that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. So you don't carry hate. You carry nothing. You vanish, not to punish her, but to protect your peace. That's the difference between emotional reactivity and stoic strength. She expects you to chase. Instead, you disappear. Not because she didn't matter, but because you finally do. No contact, no posts, no breadcrumbs, just presence withdrawn fully, coldly, completely. She'll feel it, and when the silence echoes loud enough, she'll start questioning everything. Number 4, she's not missing you, she's testing you. That random "hey" text, the accidental like on your old photo, the cryptic quote about healing on her story. You think she's breaking down, missing you, regretting everything? Nope. She's checking your temperature, seeing if the leash still fits. This isn't longing, it's control, it's bait. And if you respond, you just failed the test. Most men crumble at the first sign of her return, thinking, this is my chance. She finally realized what she lost. But that's not what's happening. She's not back because she loves you. She's back because she's bored, curious, or insecure. She wants to see if you're still orbiting her world like a loyal little moon. But a stoic man doesn't orbit. He is the sun. He doesn't react to a test. He exposes it. He doesn't reply with desperation. He lets the silence answer for him. Because here's the truth. If she really missed you, she wouldn't send a vague text. She'd move heaven and earth to prove she wants you back. Anything less is manipulation in disguise. Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. You don't owe her a reply. You don't owe her access. She lost that privilege when she walked away. The test isn't about her. It's about you. Will you remain rooted, unmoved, sovereign? Number 5, do not post, do not call, do not watch her story. Silence isn't just what you say, it's what you don't do. Don't post to make her jealous. Don't call to check in. And above all, don't watch her stories like some ghost she still controls. Every time you view her content, you're signaling, I'm still here. Nope, that ends now. She left. That means she doesn't get access to your energy, your progress, or your pain. Stoicism teaches withdrawal, not as punishment, but as a path to inner freedom. Because let's be real, when you post that gym selfie or share that cryptic quote, who are you really doing it for? If it's to get a reaction from her, you're still enslaved by her opinion. still dancing for the validation she no longer deserves. What you don't give her matters more than what you do. Your silence should be sacred. Your presence should be earned. A man who truly understands his value doesn't signal his evolution. He embodies it quietly, powerfully, unapologetically. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free," and in this case, bravery is not feeding the algorithm of her attention. Don't give her the satisfaction. Let her wonder. Let her scroll through your profile and find nothing. That's what stings the most. Your absence. Number 6. Your cold silence is a mirror to her ego. Nothing wounds the ego like being ignored by someone who used to worship you. She expected a breakdown. She expected you to spiral, to beg, to compete with her new attention. But instead, you vanished. No anger, no goodbye, just pure, brutal silence. And that silence reflects something back to her that she can't stand to see. Her own insignificance in your new world. This isn't about being cruel. It's about being clear. When a man walks away without theatrics, he sends a message far more powerful than any emotional outburst. I no longer seek validation from you. That burns because whether she admits it or not, part of her identity was wrapped in how much you needed her. And now she's staring into a void where your obsession used to be. Cold silence is a mirror. It forces her to face what she lost without you having to say a single word. And that's the power of Stoicism. It teaches you that revenge is weakness, attention is currency, and the most devastating thing you can do is nothing at all. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." So don't chase, don't explain, don't react. Let her sit with the absence of your chaos and realize it was her chaos all along. Number 7, build a life so ruthlessly unreachable it haunts her. You want her to feel your absence. Don't just disappear, evolve. Build a life that's so far removed from who you were with her. She can't even recognize you. Not because you've changed to impress her, but because you finally remembered who you are without her. A man on a mission. A man who doesn't just move on. He levels up with violent focus. While she's scrolling and stalking, you're grinding. While she's fishing for reactions, you're building an empire. While she's posting thirst traps, you're working in silence, in the gym, in your mind, in your craft. And the scariest thing for her? You're not watching. You're not checking. You're not waiting. You've left the stadium entirely, and she's still performing. Stoicism isn't about pretending you don't care. It's about redirecting that energy into something that makes you untouchable. The more disciplined you become, the less accessible you are. And when she realizes she no longer has a backstage pass to your world, that's when the regret sets in. Not because you flaunted it, but because you outgrew her. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." So don't waste yours trying to prove anything. Let your new life be the message, and make sure it's so good. Even if she came back, you'd have to think twice. Number 8. Rejection is redirection toward your divine path. She didn't ruin your life. She redirected it. What feels like rejection is often divine protection. You thought she was the destination, but she was only the detour. Life removed her not to punish you, but to position you. Because as long as you were wrapped up in her, you were blind to your own potential. You were bending, shrinking, molding yourself to fit into a story that was never meant to be your legacy. Now the pain you're feeling, that's sacred. It's a sacred breaking, a necessary dismantling of the man who settled, the man who tolerated being misunderstood, the man who thought love meant sacrifice without boundaries. Stoicism shows us that pain isn't the enemy, it's the teacher. It strips away illusion. It forces us to stand alone, and in doing so, to finally stand true. You didn't lose her. You lost the illusion that she was aligned with your purpose, and that illusion had to die for your true path to begin. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs?" She wasn't a mistake. She was the catalyst, the spark that ignited the next chapter. You are not broken. You are becoming. And one day, you'll look back and realize her rejection was your initiation into something far greater. Number 9, she will miss the version of you she abandoned. At first, she'll feel nothing. She'll laugh, she'll post, she'll pretend she's thriving. But as time passes, something starts to shift. She remembers the little things, the way you listened, the way you stayed loyal, the way you showed up when no one else did. But by then, the version of you she knew no longer exists. You see, heartbreak is the furnace, and if you use it right, it transforms you. While she's out there thinking you're stuck in grief, you're becoming unrecognizable in the best way possible. She left a man who was still learning how to love himself, but now you've become a man who commands self-respect, a man who doesn't just heal, he ascends. And that's what haunts her. Not your anger, not your pain, but your absence, your glow-up, the fact that she thought you'd be waiting and you weren't. The fact that you loved her deeply and let her go completely. That's the wound she carries in silence. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You were once the man who begged for answers. Now you're the man who walks without needing any. And as she scrolls through memories of a man she'll never meet again, she'll feel it deep in her bones. That regret, that's the echo of a man she misjudged. And that echo grows louder the more silent you remain. Number 10. By then, you'll be a man she can no longer reach. By the time she realizes what she lost, it'll be too late. The version of you she knew, the one who waited, who hoped, who would have dropped everything just to hear from her, is gone. Buried beneath silence, replaced by a man forged in pain, sharpened by discipline, and elevated by detachment. She'll try to reach out. Maybe weeks from now, maybe months. Maybe when the thrill of her rebound fades and the silence she once enjoyed starts to suffocate her, she'll send that message. She'll test the waters. But the man who used to drown in her presence now sails in oceans of purpose. She'll find herself blocked, not just from your phone, but from your reality. You didn't just move on, you transcended. That's the final evolution of a Stoic man. Not that he heals, but that he ascends so far beyond the games, the drama, and the need for closure that she couldn't reach him, even if she screamed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." And that's what you've done. You stopped waiting. You started becoming. Now she's chasing a ghost, a memory that no longer lives here. You don't heal by getting them back. You heal by getting you back. That's the lesson. That's the cold strategy. This isn't about becoming heartless. It's about becoming untouchable. A Stoic man doesn't chase closure. He becomes it. He doesn't beg for respect. He embodies it. And in doing so, he becomes a presence that haunts. Not because he tried to be remembered, but because he vanished without a trace. The pain you feel today is the power she gave you without even realizing it. Use it. Transmute it. Let your silence, your stillness, your evolution echo louder than anything you could have said. And when she finally looks back, let her see a man she can no longer touch. Not because he's hiding, but because he finally found his way. Thanks for watching. If this message struck a chord, if you're ready to step into that next version of yourself, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop it in the comments one last time. I release what I cannot control. Stay cold, stay powerful, stay stoic.